What is up, guys? Giant Chase here. Welcome back to the club, and it's time again to talk ROM hacks. That's right, I got 5 more examples of ROM hacks that I think you guys should check out. Well, one of them is kind of a cheat because I've got multiples in the same category. I'll explain in a second. But as always, if there's a game that I've already covered, go check the playlist up here, get caught up on the previous episodes. So again, we're looking for ROM hacks of existing games. These are not executables, these are not fan-made games, but they are passion projects that you can play on emulators, or if you're savvy enough and you've got an EverDrive, you should be able to play on real hardware. And of course, let's do the YouTube thing. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notifications, and also this new thing, make sure restrict mode is turned off. There's a new feature that YouTube rolled out with some type of AI that is turning restrict mode automatically on, and it is removing videos and live feeds from people's playlists. So if you don't want to miss anybody's content, be sure to go into your settings, turn restrict mode off. So with that out of the way, let's get into the first game. So Mario Brothers on the NES, classic, right? We've played this hundreds, thousands of times. Well, probably one of the most common NES games out there. It was the pack-in title with the action set, and it's what, you know, made the system famous. But what was I able to tell you that someone took Mario Brothers and completely remade it to play like Celeste? This is Mario Celeste Zip and Dash. So this one, again, it is a full-on ROM hack of the original Super Mario Brothers, but this is crazy. I don't know how they did this, but in this ROM hack, they have turned Mario basically into Madeline from Celeste. So you do have the basic movements. It starts off like World 1-1, but then you start getting all the abilities that you have in Celeste. So you cling to walls, you dash. The platforming in this is phenomenal. And they've also thrown in some elements of Mario Maker. So anytime you take a death, there's a little red X that will pop up to tell you where you died and how you died. Man, like I have not gone through the whole game yet. From what I've been told, it's relatively short compared to Celeste, actual Celeste. But man, like if you are a fan of Celeste or any type of those modern 2D platformers, now the puzzle platformers, you should definitely check out this ROM hack. It still astonishes me that they took the original Super Mario Brothers, didn't just make a new batch of levels or reskin it to make it look like modern Mario games. They just made a completely new game out of this. Like, again, you need Super Mario Brothers ROM and patch it with the IPS. Holy crap, it is amazing. I recommend anyone go check out Celeste Mario Zip and Dash. Next up is a ROM hack for Mega Man 2 that changes up the sprite colors, the level design, and the overall difficulty. This is called Rockman No Constancy. So I hope I'm saying that right. So with this, they've gone and redrawn Mega Man to actually look like X. So he has the side profile and the overall animations for X from the Super Nintendo, but it still plays like Mega Man 2. So you got, you know, no slides, no Mega Busters, very, you know, delayed movements as it was back in Mega Man 2. I mean, it's not a whole lot. They did change some of the enemy properties. They hit a little bit harder. They move a little bit faster, but there's a lot of love and care done into this game. So they have levels that are actually based on Mega Man X. Some of the levels actually have music from Mega Man X series. I think it's X2 in their intro stage, but they've also taken elements and sprite work from other games. Like if you look into the caves, it's, you know, very reminiscent of Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. There's a level that has like those columns from, and I had to go and check because I thought it was Kid Icarus, but it's actually taken from Kirby's Adventure. And man, is this game ever hard. Like in my short playthrough of this, I went through most of the levels, but the only Robot Master I was actually able to defeat, and I will admit this, I did save scum a little bit, was Metal Man. Now, they also changed the properties of the Robot Master's ability. So like when I had the metal blades, it does fire in all directions, but the buttons are reversed. So instead of holding up to throw up, you hold down. So it's basically inverted controls, which, come on. It's not a flight sim. I don't play inverted controls, but this is something that I do want to go back to in the future to see how much farther I can make it into it. It is really challenging. So if you found Mega Man games easy in the past and you need something new, go check out this ROM hack, Rockman No Constancy. Next up is a quickie. It's a quick conversion trying to bring a fighting game more into its arcade standards. This is the Mortal Kombat Arcade Edition for the Sega Genesis. We're on the heels of the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection coming out in a few months, with every single solitary version of Mortal Kombat you could possibly hope or dream of. You had the arcade versions, you're gonna have the home consoles, the handheld versions, this weird net version that, you know, was Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 with some minor changes, plus a playable version of Noob Saibot. So growing up, when you didn't have access to the arcades, you played the home console. And for me, in my household, we had the Super Nintendo. I had very few friends that had the Genesis version, and when I did and eventually played it, I didn't like it. Yeah, you had the blood in it, but you had to type in the code to actually get it. But for me, like, the sprite work was very tiny. I'm not a fan of the sound chip of the Genesis, although I have seen companies make amazing sounds with it. First party Sega, of course. So what these hackers have done is, I don't know if they use MSU1 chips and music on there, but they've got almost arcade perfect music in there, re-recorded and reprocessed sounds for Shang Tsung or Shao Kahn. I can't remember who does the announcing in Mortal Kombat 1. Is it Shang Tsung or is it Shao Kahn? I can't remember, but the voice work is actually there and sounds way clearer. The blood is on by default. There's no activation code that you have to punch in. The sprite work is bigger. The controls feel leagues better than the original home release. And I can't confirm this because I didn't have the mode on, but there is 6-button control with this. Lord help me if it was in the regular version. I don't know, as I didn't get a whole lot of hands-on time with it growing up, or access to a 3-button controller. And for whatever reason, I didn't turn 6-button mode on my actual Genesis system to test this out. But if you want a enhanced version of Mortal Kombat 1 on your Sega Genesis, look for this ROM hack. It's the Mortal Kombat Arcade Edition. So for my fourth pick, I'm going to cheat a little bit and I'm gonna rapid fire some quick games out there. In the past videos, I've talked about DX versions of Game Boy games that hackers have done and made them color. So I've shown off Kirby's Dream Land 2, there's Kirby's Dream Land 1 that's out there. Someone has gone through and done the Super Mario Land games. With the Land games, they've actually done a little bit more, adding in Luigi and more better difficulty modes for it, and also enhanced graphics for the first game. For the second game, was just adding in Luigi and his floaty jumps. But the ones I want to really talk about here quick were recently they just came out with all the Final Fantasy Game Boy games. So there's the Final Fantasy Adventure, Final Fantasy Legends 1, 2, and 3. Now, I don't need to tell you the story is that technically these are not Final Fantasy games. Adventure is actually part of the Mana series, and the Legend games are actually part of the Saga series. They just changed it to Final Fantasy because Final Fantasy had more brand recognition in the West than the Saga and Mana games did in Japan. So they thought they would sell well, or sell a little bit better. And these are fully colorized. From what I can see, there was no other changes like they did in the Mario Land DX versions. So it's just basically bringing color to 4 great action and turn-based RPGs. Now, the reason I picked these out is because the 3 Legend games are my childhood, more specifically 2 and 3, because these were games that I grew up playing. These were like my go-to RPGs that if I didn't have a Dragon Warrior / Dragon Quest or a Final Fantasy at home, I had these games on the go. And 2 is near and dear to my heart because this is one of the games that for the longest time, up until a few years ago, this was one of the games that my late father had over my head that he actually beat and I didn't. So I managed to beat that on stream, and I feel like I really want to go through these games again in full color to re-experience them again. So again, this is just rapid fire, just let you know that the modding community is hard at work making more DX versions, Game Boy Color editions of your favorite Game Boy games. And finally, I've got the newest ROM hack on the list, and I'm sorry to say this might actually beat out Super Mario Mod now as one of my new favorite ROM hacks. This is Super Metroid Cross Fusion. So this is taking the Super Metroid engine and just ejecting Metroid Fusion into it. It's basically a Super Nintendo version of Metroid Fusion. So it follows pretty much the same storyline with a little bit of changes. So obviously you don't have that power grip that was introduced in the GBA games like Fusion and Zero Mission. So we gotta, add in the grappling hook, but they have everything else in here. So missiles upgrade to super and then to ice. Your gravity suits are in here, speed boost, like basically all the stuff that you would have in Fusion is in here, with a new reserve X system. So in past Metroid games, you would have reserve tanks that would fill up once you hit 0 health, but in this, they don't fill up automatically. You have to go into the pause menu, select them, and this will refill the health anytime you need it. And if you play on anything other than easy, you are going to need it. So this game employs 5 different difficulty settings. I initially started my playthrough over on my Twitch and live streaming here on YouTube on normal. And man, was this game kicking my ass. I consider myself a pretty decent Super Metroid player, and I was getting my ass handed to me, but I was enjoying every single second of it. But starting over on easy, it is 10 times easier than going on normal difficulty. So if you just want to, casually go through the game with a little bit of difficulty here and there, I would go with easy. Super basically takes away all the exploration elements out of it because it just gives you everything. You're fully powered, you don't lose any abilities, and you're just going through the game as you would. It is so astonishing to me that they were able to recreate all the bosses from the GBA title into this and actually make some enhancements. And also too, like one of my favorite boss battles, I have not completed the game just yet, but one of my favorite boss battles now is the return of Crocomire from Super Metroid. And just like the ability that you're fighting on top of one of the robot bosses from Fusion, and you have this control over him by crouching. You move forward by aiming up, diagonally up, you make him jump, and that plays into the boss fight and into the next part of it. My God, like I cannot praise this game enough. If it wasn't for the fact that Silk Song just released, I would still be playing this, but this is one that I'm going to come back and finish. I would say I'm probably about 60 to 70% done. I have a few of the SAXs left to deal with. By the way, there are multiple SAXs in this, and depending on the difficulty, they are super smart. They can track you down and they will punish you. So obviously it's just like the original game on GBA. Don't take them on until you've got everything fully powered. This also has dialogue choices. So you have cutscenes where you're talking to the AI and they give you dialogue choices. To my knowledge, they don't do anything. It's just a fun little thing where you can tell the computer to screw off. And they also play into the joke of Other M, and it's like, I authorize you to use these weapons, and Samus says, I don't need your authorization. To stick that kind of back in Adam's face. So again, this is a new ROM hack that just came out in the last few weeks, and sorry Super Mario Mon, you've been replaced. Super Metroid Cross Fusion is my new #1 favorite ROM hack of all time. Until the next one. So that's it, guys. 5 more ROM hacks. Well, technically 8 or 9 if you count all those DX ones I talked about that I think you guys should check out. Of course, links to all of these ROM hacks will be available in the description below, so you can go check them out yourself. Again, if you missed out on any of the other games I talked about, go look at the playlist and I give quick thoughts on them there. If there's a game I haven't checked out yet, please let me know in the comments below. But again, like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell notification and turn off that restrict mode on YouTube because you need to see my videos first and foremost. But you need to see everyone else's too, so be sure that's turned off. Don't let AI take control. Until then, guys, I'm Johnny Chase and I got more games to play. See you in the next one.